Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a good week. Welcome to Endless Encouragement. Today's date is October the 20th, and it's a nice day out here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The weather was nice today. Sun was shining, and that's always nice when the sun is shining. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Endless Encouragement. Yes, we have a new Facebook page. It is called Endless Encouragement. So once again, follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Endless Encouragement. Also, a new link to follow the podcast. It's also Endless Encouragement is blogtalkradio.com/Endless Encouragement. Subscribe to Endless Encouragement on YouTube. We do have a channel out there, Endless Encouragement. Tell all your friends, and you can help my ratings on YouTube. All of our shows are posted right after the show on YouTube, so you never have to worry about missing a show. All of our shows are there for your pleasure, and also you can just tell your friends to go there. You can also find us on iTunes. You do not have to have like an iPad or iPhone or anything like that. You can just search for Endless Encouragement. You can go to our website, learningthelord.com. You can click on the link. But please follow us and help our ratings. Also, follow us throughout the week. I post a lot of different things on Facebook. So Facebook is where I'll be sending updates and sending out encouraging words. And if you have anything that you would like to post on the Facebook page, it is open to everyone to post motivational, inspirational, Christian, anything to encourage anyone along their journey. So feel free to, when you're posting things like that on Facebook, to also post it on facebook.com/Endless Encouragement. We'd love to hear from you. Also, go to our website, learningthelord.com, and you can sign up for our newsletter. We still do have the facebook.com/learningthelord Facebook page. That also is you can sign up for our newsletter there as well. But if you like to be a writer for our newsletter, just email us at endlessencouragement@gmail.com. Once again, you can email endlessencouragement@gmail.com if you would like to be a writer for the show. All submission must be original. No payment at this time or for articles. But, however, you don't have to be an experienced writer or anything. You don't have to have gone to college to be a writer. This is strictly for you all to share encouraging words with one another. That's what the venue is for. We all need encouragement. So please, I would love to hear from you. I would love for you to be a writer for the new monthly newsletter. It does come out the first of the month, each month. So we have one that's going to be coming out on November 1st. So we do have a Healthy Corner with Cynthia Richardson. She's a Beachbody coach. So we're also looking for other areas to encourage everyone along their journey, whether it's natural or spiritual, just encouraging everyone. Once again, all submission must be original. No payments at this time for the articles. But, just sharing the word is just good, just to help everyone along their path. Also, we are an affiliate partner with ChristianBooks.com and iTunes, and any sales coming from the website will help me to be able to fund this podcast. So, like I said, you don't have to have any Apple products. It's okay. You can download iTunes for free, but, and then return back to my site to purchase any books or music that you would like to purchase. And once again, I won't hide the facts, but, any proceeds, any purchases coming from my website, from ChristianBooks.com or iTunes, will help me fund this podcast. So please help me to be able to fund the podcast, as well as do other things to help everyone learn, to encourage everyone along their way. Follow us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I am here. My name is Myra. I'm the host. I am here every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Our call-in number for this show is 917-889-3203. Once again, the call-in number for this show is 917-889-3203. We'd love to hear from you today. Oh, this week was a very exciting week for me. Just a busy week, but, just going through life and just going and making changes in life sometimes can be hard, especially when you're starting a new avenue down your life. One of the things that I'm trying to do is when I go to the grocery store, I don't know if you heard the podcast from last week with Chef Amadeus. If you haven't, please just go to YouTube.com and search Endless Encouragement, and you'll see the interview with Chef Amadeus. He was talking about when you shop, you should only shop the perimeter of the store, just the outskirts where the produce, the meat, the vegetables, and your dairy and your breads are. And you avoid going up and down the aisles as so many of us do. I know that I am definitely guilty of going up and down the aisles. And they have the pretty boxes and the pretty vibrant colors, and it just sparks your interest. Ooh, yes, I do need a box of Cheez-Its. Or, ooh, yes, the bag of chips would be good, or those cookies would be good. And, yeah, it's a lot of things down those aisles that I am trying to avoid. So that's been the task this week, was when I went to the grocery store, I did succeed. I only went down the aisles for the things I needed to complete the meals that I had planned for the week. And it was really interesting that when I went to pay, how much less I paid, because my cart wasn't filled with Pop-Tarts and just a whole bunch of junk chips and cookies and things like that you just pick up as an impulse buys. That's what I'm calling them. So I did stay away from the aisles that just, in my mind, they're non-essential foods. They didn't help me. They wasn't needed. It wasn't, it had nothing to do with how I was going to eat for the week. They would just been basically junk food. And, I want to avoid from that. One day I was looking at my, this is before I really started instituting this. I did look down at my cart one time, and I just noticed that I had enough, food for main meals, but the rest of everything that was filled up in my cart was nothing but junk, stuff to just eat. So that's what I did this week. I just was trying to change it. And just, I just had to be ready to choose those items. So today's topic, of course, is talking about life changes, lifestyle changes. And lifestyle changes can be tricky. When I say tricky, because you have to be ready to make the change. If you're not ready to make the change, the lifestyle change is not going to stick. And when I speak of lifestyle changes, I was thinking about this week, this month has been nothing but talking about all healthy things, fitness. But as I began to think closer towards the show, this could be a spiritual lifestyle change that, some of you may need to do. I know I've been going through spiritual lifestyle changes, and so when we're talking about lifestyle changes this week, we're talking about spiritual and natural. Our call-in number for the show, once again, is area code 917-889-3203. We'd love to hear from you if you've made any type of lifestyle changes, whether it's spiritual or natural, whatever the change was that you made in your life to make a better you. We would really love to hear from you. We really would. But as I was thinking about the lifestyle change and thinking about what it really means to have a lifestyle change, basically is changing the way you live your life on a daily basis. And for natural, it could be anything from exercising every day to, getting rid of people in your life that are causing you headaches every day. The people that just call you and complain. and dump all their problems on you, and then you are caught up in the drama. But, that the natural part, could be anything, is exercising, eating right, choosing the right foods, eating at certain times throughout the day, not eating at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's a lifestyle change. And for the spiritual lifestyle changes, it could be from, I'm just throwing out examples, anything from reading your Bible every day, or maybe it's praying more. Maybe it's going to church. Maybe it's finding small groups to talk about the Bible. Maybe, it could be a host of different things. And some of these examples I'm giving out are some of the things that I've done. So when you speak about lifestyle changes, it could be spiritual. It could be natural. You could go through both at the same time. But whatever lifestyle changes you make, you want to make sure that it is a positive change for you, and it's a change that is needed. And that's one of the key things to lifestyle changes, because I could sit here all day and tell you that you need to do this or you need to do that, or everyone else could tell you in your life that you need to do this and you need to do that. But until you make that decision to change, you'll never change. So, and you want it to be positive. You don't want any lifestyle changes that's negative. I mean, what's the point of having a negative lifestyle change? Who wants to do that? I definitely don't want to do that. You definitely want it to be positive, because if it's positive, it's helpful. And I do believe you're making a spiritual change. It, of course, will be a positive change. But even natural, you want it to be a positive change, something that is going to benefit you in the long run, not something that's going to be beneficial today but not tomorrow. And when I talk about in the long run, we're talking doing this forever, until you take your last breath or you're able to physically do it yourself. That's the lifestyle changes that we're talking about. And a lot of people will start to ask, and I know that I'm one, how do you make a lifestyle change? Let's just be honest. Some people, they can just, after hearing about it and thinking about it, they can just go ahead and just make that change, no problem. No problems whatsoever. But others, like me, yes, me, it's a process to make a lifestyle change. There is a process. And some will disagree. And if you disagree that there's not a process, that you can just go ahead and make the lifestyle change, please call in 917-889-3203. We can discuss whether or not there is a process to making a lifestyle change. But for me, I'm speaking personally for me. I don't know about you, but I'm speaking personally for me, and I'm speaking probably to the majority of you that it's probably a process that you have to go through to make the lifestyle changes. And the process sometimes can be, when we look at the process, can be kind of overwhelming, simply because if you're like me, you're kind of busy. And, well, I'm not kind of, I am busy. I am busy, being a mother, a homemaker. I work. I do the podcast, and I fit in other little things as well. And trying to make a lifestyle change would mean either, having to incorporate something else in my life, and probably getting rid of something else in my life. So that's where the change and the process comes in place that I'm speaking of. This could be natural or it could be spiritual. Something more than likely you will have to be able to give up or be able to shuffle something around in your life in order to make this lifestyle change. And I think that's the process. And like I said, some people can do it with no problem. Yep, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going for it. Well, their life may be as simple, and not complicated. Whereas your life is a little bit busier, you have a lot more to do than others. Like me, for instance, if I was a single person with no kids and it's just me, sure, it might be a little easier to incorporate some things. But when I'm needed in 10 different places at one time, being a parent, sometimes making a lifestyle change can seem, it's scary. It's really scary. Let's just be honest. It's scary. Well, that's the natural part. Spiritual part is not scary. You're either going to make a spiritual change or you're not. But, naturally speaking, yeah, it can be kind of scary because you're kind of sitting there, you're kind of going through the motions. Well, how do I do this? And I came up with some steps that I quickly jotted down. It's about 10 of them I came up with as far as the process that I have to go through. Now, these, like I said, spiritual process and spiritual lifestyle changes, you're either going to do it or you're not. And that's also for natural. But the 10 steps that I'm going through, I believe that they can be, they're interchangeable. And you can challenge me on it, please. I welcome the challenge. You can call in 917-889-3203. If you've gone through a lifestyle change, whether spiritual or natural, please call us. We would love to hear from you. And the steps that you took. But for me, the process, and there's no particular order for the 10 steps that I'm about to state. There's no particular order. You can do it in any way that you want to. But I believe number one is number one. Well, number one and number two, I'm sorry. I should take that back that there's no particular steps. Number one and number two, yeah. You need to do number one and number two because you can't get from one to you can't get to two from one without doing one. The first one is recognize the need to make a lifestyle change. What is it in your life that you need to make some type of change? And when I say the change, I want you to think both spiritually and naturally. What is the lifestyle change that you need to make? For me, my natural lifestyle was just shopping around the outskirts of the store and not going up and down the aisle. Spiritually, so it's learning to read the Bible every day. So as you can see, lifestyle changes, it could be anything, but I need to recognize the need to make a lifestyle change. And once again, it has to be a positive change. You can't be negative. You can't say, well, instead of drinking 10 beers today, I'm only going to drink 5. Well, you're still drinking beer, so that's not really a lifestyle change. A lifestyle change is doing completely opposite of what you're doing now. So you have to recognize the need to make a lifestyle change. Think about your life. What is it in your life that you really need to make a change on? And then number 2, understand why you need to make the lifestyle change. Because if you don't understand why you're making a lifestyle change, it's not going to make any sense to you and you're not going to stick with the lifestyle change. So you need to understand why you need to make the lifestyle change. Like everyone can yell from the rooftop that you need to make a change, you need to make a change. But unless you know within yourself you need to make a lifestyle change, you'll never make the lifestyle change. It's like, you hear when people maybe get in trouble, maybe I'll just say for DUIs, and one of the things they have to do is go to a diversion program where they have to refrain from, drinking alcohol for whatever the time frame that the judge states or whatever the time frame that this diversion program is. And you look at the person and they're doing so well while they're in this program, and you're like, wow, they've made a change. But as soon as the program is over, they revert back to their old behavior. And a lot of times family and friends will sit and wonder, well, why did they do that? Well, number one, they didn't recognize that they had a need to make a lifestyle change. That was something that they had to do. And number two, they didn't understand why they needed to make the change, because maybe in their mind they were fine. So you have to be able to recognize the need to make that change and understand why you need to make the change. Get a sheet of paper and make lists, make a positive and a negative. Why do you need to make the change? What's so positive about the change? I did say positive and the negatives. List all the bad things that may have happened because of this lifestyle change, and why now you're focusing on and you're recognizing the need to make this lifestyle change. And then after you have this list, you'll understand why you need to make a lifestyle change. Hopefully your positives will outweigh your negatives, depending on what it is, but hopefully it will. It's a lot of positives to making positive lifestyle changes. So once you have your list ready, and you'll now understand, look at the list and really understand it. The third one is, you can pray about it. If it's spiritual or natural, pray about it. Pray about this lifestyle change. Ask the Lord or your higher being to give you power to thank them for recognizing you understand that you need to make a change, and pray about it. Ask for help. Seek help. And once you learn to start praying about it, and the thoughts come into your mind on how to be a better you in making those lifestyle changes, you really will understand and recognize more. And you may be able to go back to your list and write down more positives as to why you need to make the change. And once you've done those things, then make a plan on how you plan to go about making a lifestyle change. Let's just be honest. Okay? That's the hardest part, is just making the plan on how we're going to go about making this lifestyle change. If it's incorporating exercise, maybe you have to get up an hour early, like I have to. I need to make that lifestyle change of getting up an hour early. Yes, I have recognized that need, and I understand that need, and yes, but deep in my soul, I'm not ready. I still want to do my 10 o'clock boxing class. But make a plan. How are you going to make this lifestyle change? What in your life do you need to change? Do you need to get rid of? Do you need to switch around to make this lifestyle change? If it's getting up and praying, get up, 15 minutes early to pray. If it's praying more, if it's reading the Bible, plan to read the Bible 15 minutes before you actually have to get up. Or the really cool thing that they do have now is a Bible app. So maybe skip lunch with some friends a couple of times out of the week. And instead of sitting around and gossiping or talking about whatever you talk about at lunchtime, boyfriends, husbands, kids, why don't you just take a couple of days out of the week with your app on your phone, your Bible app, and just read the Bible. Have lunch and read the Bible. That's one way. Maybe at the end of the night, maybe take time instead of watching, after watching your favorite shows, maybe take time to maybe DVR your show, record your show. There's a lot of different avenues that you can watch the shows, like Netflix. Oh, I'm loving Netflix, by the way. But maybe you want to get Netflix and wait for it to come on Netflix, or maybe you want to go to the actual website. More than likely, they post the shows, in my experience, maybe a week after. If you don't mind watching a later episode. And maybe taking that time to incorporate more spiritual things versus incorporating just sitting on the couch doing nothing. Or maybe you want to take that time to exercise. Maybe you want to exercise during your show. I don't know, whatever the lifestyle changes are that you need to make. I'm just throwing out suggestions. And these are some of the things that I recognize and I need to do. But these are just some of the lifestyle changes. Maybe at nighttime, one of the things you can plan on at nighttime is, if you're used to going to bed at 10 o'clock, maybe at 9:30, maybe do something at 9:30 before going to bed. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You just have to make the plan to fit your lifestyle. And the reason it's called a lifestyle change is because you're making this change to fit your lifestyle. Yes, that's why it's called a lifestyle change. Because you're saying, okay, I recognize I need to make this change. Whether it's spiritual or natural, I recognize I need to make this change. And now I need to incorporate this change into my life. How does it fit my lifestyle? And those are just some of the ways that you can incorporate it. Enlist friends and family. And when I say enlist friends and family, when you go to make your lifestyle changes, only enlist the positive ones. And yes, we all have friends and family that no matter what is said, this person has something negative to say. The first thing that comes out of their mouth, I wouldn't be doing that. You crazy. We all have friends like that. The call-in number is 917-889-3203. We'd love to hear from you about your lifestyle changes. But you want to make sure that it's only positive people, only positive. And deep within yourself, who's positive around you, who's encouraging. And if you do not have friends and family who are positive, then that's okay. You don't have to enlist anyone. You don't have to tell anyone about your lifestyle changes. You can just do it on your own and be encouraged that way. Encourage yourself. I am my best friend, my own best friend. And be your best friend and tell yourself, look in the mirror. I often talk about the mirror. Look in the mirror and say, I can do this. I can do this. I can make this change. So once again, if you enlist your family and friends, but once again, just make sure they're positive. Make sure they really are for you. And they're not going to come up with anything negative. And one true test to find out who's positive and who's negative around you, not that you don't love them any less or anything like that, but just throw something out there and just say, hey, I think I want to go skydiving. And see who says, nope, I don't want to do that. And see who says, yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. That may be your positive person. But skydiving, I'm sorry, I would not be the positive person. I would say, no. But, sometimes just throwing things out there just to see who's positive and who's negative. And don't consider it setting them up or anything. You're not going to stop talking to them because they're who they are. They are allowed to have an opinion. But when you're trying to make a lifestyle change and you want to make sure that you're taking it to the correct person who's going to be receptive, who's going to be for you, who's going to encourage you along the way. This person is going to push you, is going to remind you, in any progress that you have along the way, they'll be able to say, oh, I'm so happy, you're so encouraging, or I'm so happy you did this. So that's when it comes to enlisting your family and friends. Explore different ways on how you can make lifestyle changes. When you're making a lifestyle change, you don't want to just put yourself in a box and just say, this is what I'm going to do. Because believe me, that box is going to get worn out to the point where you're not going to want to go in that box anymore. So you definitely want to explore different ways on how to make this lifestyle change, which means you're going to need to come out of your comfort zone if if you really want to make this lifestyle change. And you're going to have to be open to new ideas to make a lifestyle change. And that may be, joining a fitness club if you're financially able to, joining a group, finding a church, going to events, finding different classes to go to. I mean, those are just different ways to explore just different ways, because everything you're going to need to support, and you may meet someone there at the different avenues as you start exploring that may be the person that connects you to something else as you're exploring different ways to make a lifestyle change. So don't just say, I'm going to exercise every morning in my living room, and I'm only going to watch channel 501. That's the only channel I'm going to watch. Well, what happens if channel 501 stops working, if they go out of business? Does that mean your lifestyle change no longer works? What are you going to do then? So that's what I mean by making sure you go out of the box. It's cool to work out in the morning at home, in your living room, but what other activities can you do? Maybe you can incorporate walking during the daytime, or hooking up with friends, or going to different Zumba classes or something like that. What about if you're working with a group, and the group decides, well, we're no longer going to be a group, and this was your lifestyle change, this was your only avenue that you ever explored, was this group, and the group no longer exists. What happens to your lifestyle change? Did you go and seek out other groups? Did you try to hook up with other people and things of that nature? So when I say explore different ways, you want to not just put yourself in a box. Explore different ways. How can you make sure that this will always be your lifestyle change? And once you have that plan in place, you always want to continue to seek and explore different ways that you can continue to make this lifestyle change. No matter what happens, you will still do it. Now, you will have a base on what you can do, but what else can you do to just explore different things? Come out of your comfort zone. Come out of your box. You'll be amazed at what's out there to just help you along your path as you make, spiritual and natural changes in life. And maybe, don't frown on anything that comes upon, come to you to make the lifestyle change. If it's something spiritual, pray about it. Natural, pray about it. Find out if it's something for you. Explore it before you actually dive in. You can. That's what exploring means. You're just testing it and just checking it out, getting all the information that you need to continue to make these lifestyle changes. Don't wait until the time is right. No. I definitely say don't wait until the time is right. If you recognize it, you should do it. Don't wait, because guess what? Wise person told me, and I just told someone else this the other day, time keeps on ticking even though we stop. So yeah, you can say, well, no, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to do it someday, but not right now. I'm going to do it next week, but not today. Well, guess what? Time just keeps on ticking away, and even if we're not with the plan, time just keeps on ticking. So don't wait until the time is right. Go ahead. If you recognize what you should do, that was the first step, is recognize. And you understand why you need to make the lifestyle change, just go ahead and do it. Don't wait until the time is right. The time will never be right. Let's just be honest. You have to make the time right. Time doesn't care if it's right or wrong. Time doesn't care if you need to get to work. It doesn't care if you need to get home. Time just keeps ticking. It just keeps ticking. And you can't stop time unless you know how to stop time. Then definitely give me a phone call. But you can't stop the time. It just keeps ticking away. So instead of just saying, well, I'm, basically, the saying, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. Don't put it off. Go ahead and do it. Don't wait. The time, you have to make that time. You have to sit down and you have to decide, I'm making this change. The change is starting today. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z change. Make it. You have to make that time. If it means getting up 15 minutes early, get up 15 minutes early. Yeah, your body is going to be like, oh my goodness. But you can do it. You can do it. And understanding that any change will take time to get used to. As I talked about getting up 15 minutes early, your body is going to be like, oh my goodness, I'm not supposed to get up until 7 o'clock, and it is 6:50. Oh my goodness, I can't do this. Well, one of the rules in my house that I have is you are not allowed to use the word can't. That's a word that is not allowed in the household. You can. You can do it. If you get up 5 minutes till, and your goal was to get up 10 minutes till, guess what? You got up before 7 o'clock. So understand time is going to take some time getting used to, because your body right now is programmed to your current lifestyle, and your body is it functions on the way you live right now. So that's why at certain times of the day you're hungry, because your body is used to getting food at a certain time of the day. You get tired during a certain time of the day. That's because your body is used to winding down or going to bed at a certain time of the day. You wake up every day at a certain time. That is because your body is accustomed to waking up every day at a certain time. And I know for myself, my body, my thing is, I'm sleeping in today. Oh, my goodness, I cannot wait. Saturday is my sleep-in day. And, yes, I have a sleep-in day. I've incorporated that into my lifestyle. But Saturday is my sleep-in day. And every Saturday, I say, I am not getting out of bed until 10, 11 o'clock. And guess what? I am always up around 8 o'clock in the morning, because I get up every day at 8 o'clock. So every day I'm up at 8 o'clock, even on my sleep-in day, because that's what my body's accustomed to. No matter what I think, I can go to bed at 3 o'clock and I will still be up by 8 o'clock. And that's what my body is accustomed to. So when you're making lifestyle changes, that's the key, is that your body is accustomed to different things, and you have to understand it's going to take time to get used to. It's going to take time to readjust your body to the new change. And that is the time where, during that phase, is when you probably want to give up. But fight through it. Fight through the lifestyle change. If you're trying to get up and maybe pray, 10 minutes before you actually have to get up, fight through that change. Fight it, because it's to benefit you, because all lifestyle changes should be positive. It shouldn't be negative. It should be positive. So if you're making a positive change, fight through it. Don't give in to it, because your body's not going to want to, because it's like, no, I don't know what you're doing, but this is not the way we've been living, and I don't know, you need to go back to bed, or you need to get to bed, or you need to feed me at this time. I don't know what you need to do, but yeah, we're not for it. But you have to tell yourself, this is where I'm at. This is the change that I'm making, and I am making this change, and then go for it. So understand, it's going to take time to make those changes, but the time that it makes to make those changes is painless, because it doesn't take that long for your body to readjust. Okay, the hard part is if you readjust, you're going to need to keep that schedule, because if you revert back to the old, it's just going to be it's going to be really tougher the next time to go back to the lifestyle that you would like. So, once again, understand it's going to take time. But don't give up. Don't give up. If you fail, get back up and try it again. It's okay. We're humans. We're not 100% perfect. Although some people are walking around thinking they're 100% perfect, I am not one. But don't give up if you fail. And I don't like to use the word fail. Challenge. Just use challenged. If you're challenged on your lifestyle change, don't give up. Just the next time, get back up and continue to do the lifestyle change. And trust me, it will take you time. You may get challenged along the way. Things are going to come up, and it's going to just kind of knock you off your time schedule, but you can do it. Don't give up. You'll be challenged along the way, and things, you thought you could do this today, and now you got to do this. That's okay. You just might have to make some adjustments. And that's the other part of making lifestyle changes, is knowing that this is what I'm doing, and no matter what, this is what I'm going to do. And you may have to make some changes along the way. You may have to make changes at a spur of a moment. You never know. So be prepared for those spur of the moment changes. Maybe your thing is, I know that after work from 5 o'clock, I can hit the gym, work out for 45 minutes, and be home by 6 o'clock. Well, maybe that day the boss tells you have to work till 5:30. Well, that's okay. Just readjust your plan. Okay, well, you're not going to be home by 6 o'clock. Now you're going to have to make, changes. Maybe have to call home and say, this is what we're going to need to do. And not saying that you can't go work out. You just have to push it back a half an hour, which means you're pushing the rest of your day back a half an hour. But you can still make those changes. Maybe you need to tell your boss, okay, well, I'm going to be here to 5:30. I'm going to go, instead of, I'm going to take a 10-minute walk right now. Maybe if you take 4 10-minute walks, you've walked for 40 minutes. Bam, there's your 40-minute exercise. So, you may have to do things like that. So that's just making those little changes as they come along the way. Maybe it's you're needing to get up at 10. Your plan is to get up. Like my plan is to get up and read a chapter a day in the Bible, and maybe I overslept and I wasn't able to read the chapter that I wanted to read in the morning. Well, that's okay, because remember that really cool app I was telling you about? I have the Bible on my phone. So, yeah, I can, at break time or at lunchtime at work, instead of having lunch with friends, I can pull up my Bible app and I can read my chapter that I would like to read for that day. Or if I'm on break, I like to, take my I'll just put it out here before I say it. I'm not a smoker, but I feel that, if smokers are allowed to take their little breaks, I want to take my break. So I like to take what's called a smoker's break. And, I'll take my little smoker break because, I want my little 5-minute break. So maybe your little quote, 2 fingers up, going down, right? Quote, smoker break, maybe during that time you can pull out your Bible app and you're able to read maybe one or two verses. So that's one way. Or maybe it's about praying. Maybe you can pray real quick. It's whatever you feel that you need to make that change. Just make sure it's positive. And then as far as the plan go, plan to follow it, the lifestyle change, and to the end. Make sure that this is something that you definitely want to do for the rest of your life. If you decide your lifestyle change, hey, and I'm not knocking anyone for doing it, if you decide every day you're going to eat an apple, make sure that you can do this every day to eat an apple. And there's nothing wrong with eating an apple every day. Don't email me and say, you told people, this. But I personally cannot eat an apple every day. That's my personal. So that will never be a change that I will make. I'll eat a piece of fruit every day. I'll commit to eating a piece of fruit every day, but I won't make it that strict to where I'm doing this every single day, because more than likely your taste bud changes and eventually you're going to get tired of eating an apple. And to be honest, I love food. I enjoy food, so just having a variety every day is just awesome. And I would just get so bored with eating an apple every day. And don't get me wrong, I love apples, but it's just not a fruit that I can eat every day. And in fact, I don't know if there's any fruit, to be honest, that I can eat every day. But, okay, a little ADD there. But, just make sure it's a plan that you can follow every single day, to the rest of your life, or whatever your plan is, 3 times a week, I don't know, whatever your plan is. Just make sure that you can follow it. And that no matter what, you can do this, and you may have to make some adjustments along the way. Be prepared to make those adjustments along the way, but you can make those changes. You just have to figure out the time when you can do it. And once again, don't put yourself in a box. Don't put yourself in a box and say, well, I'm going to do this every day at 8 o'clock because I'm free every day at 8 o'clock at night. And what happens if a great show starts coming on at 8 o'clock at night on the day that, you say you can do this? Well, guess what? You're going to have to make adjustments. So just be prepared that adjustments are going to be needed along the way, and you can make those adjustments. Try to plan for the adjustments and try to squeeze in time during your day for the adjustments so you can do your lifestyle changes. And once you start making the lifestyle changes and you start to incorporate different things into your life that are, as you start to take away the negative and you're putting more positives in, just think how great it will be. How, think about the long run, the benefits of your lifestyle change. What are the benefits? Get the sheet of paper out and write again. What are the benefits of me making this change? Why should I make this change? Is it for me? Am I making this change for me, or am I making this change because everybody else wants me to make this change? And trust me, the change will not be beneficial to you if you're not the one that's going to be making the change. If you don't think you need to make the change, it's not going to be beneficial. You have to believe you can make that change, that you need to make the change. And once you believe that you can make the change, you can make the change. You just have to believe it within yourself, that you can make the change. And it's a lot of times it's just mental. It's just mental that stops us. Sometimes it's well, I don't want to make this lifestyle change because then I'm never going to hear from this subset of people anymore. Maybe those people you really don't need to hear from anymore. Or I don't want to make this change because it's going to alienate me from a lot of different things, or doing a lot of different things that I love to do. Maybe the things that you love to do are not the things that you need to do. So when you start to analyze your life and analyze the things that you're doing in your life, either naturally or spiritually, start understanding that the things that you know now and the places that you go now, it's not going to be the same. Now, it'd be great if it is the same. If it is the same and you're able to continue to do what you're doing now, and be around the same group of people that you're around now. But be prepared to enlarge your territory when you start to change your life. And the lifestyle changes, they're wonderful when you start making changes in your life, because it leads to bigger and better things. Because now you've kicked down the box. You're no longer stuck in this box. You have now opened yourself up to a whole new things, brands of opportunity. Opportunity will exist, and you've opened yourself up, and now this change is just going to take you higher. It's going to make you a better person. So, I encourage everyone, just to sit down and just make note of your life and just see what in your life do you need to make changes on. Once again, the lifestyle changes, I keep saying, it could be natural, it could be spiritual, and if possible, you can do both at the same time. You can, don't say, well, I'm going to do my natural, whatever the natural change is, I'm going to do that, and then after I get that settled, then I'm going to do spiritual. If you need to do some changes in your life, don't overwhelm yourself. Now, that's one thing. Don't overwhelm yourself, but I do believe you can do natural and spiritual at the same time. But don't overwhelm yourself. Don't make this big list of things that you want to change, because if you make too big of a list, you probably won't accomplish half of it. But make things that you can do, make the changes that you can do today, what you know you can do today. Because once you start making those changes, then you may come back to your list and say, well, I didn't even know this was on my list. I'm already doing that. Some of your things on your list may go together. You just haven't noticed that they do go together. So don't make your list too big. When I talk about the changes, don't make them too big, but don't make them too small either. But make them balanced. Balance each other. So hopefully, I'll go back through the list and I'll explain again about the lifestyle changes. And, don't be discouraged if someone comes up to you and say, oh, well, I was able to do that with no problem. You know what your response can be. Well, I'm happy that you did. When people come to you with kind of a negative tone or a down-talking tone, and you don't have to dismiss it, and you don't have to come back and snap back in a nasty way. You can just say, well, I'm glad that worked out for you. Because trust me, happy, positive responses will really kill that negative attitude. So you don't have to be nasty and be upset about it and say, oh, it took me forever to do this. No, just say, well, I'm glad it worked out for you that way. I'm working on it. I've been doing it, and I'm gaining progress. And if you fail, I forgot, we're not using the word fail. If you're challenged along the way, it's okay. You're challenged. You recognize the challenge. Get over the challenge and keep going. So I'll go back through the list. Like I said, it's no particular order, but I do know that you do need to do 1 and 2 first. The first one is to recognize the need to make a lifestyle change. What is it in your life that you need to change? Either natural or spiritual. What do you need to change? What is on your mind to change at this particular moment in your life? Recognize it. If you know you need to make that lifestyle change, more than likely you've recognized it. What is it that you need to change? Be honest with yourself. Don't say, well, I'll do this change. I'll stop eating potato chips, but I'm not going to stop eating a hamburger. So what is it? Recognize it. Understand why you need to make a lifestyle change. Understand it. Understand what the positives are. Get a journal, write it down. What are the positives that I need to do? Why this change, this lifestyle change? How will it help me along my way? Why do I understand? Why am I doing it? Because you have to understand why you're doing something. Because if it's not making any sense to you, it's not going to really stick. You're just going along. Understand why do you need to make this change? There's a lot of support groups where you all, you can join. And that's great to join support groups. I'm not downplaying support groups, and I think they're awesome. They are needed. But understand why you need to be part of that group or why you need to make that change. So understand that before you start diving in head first. Understand why you need to make that change. Make a plan on how you plan on going about making a lifestyle change. What are you going to change? What do you need to get rid of in your life? What do you need to add to your life to make this change? When you're making this change, it shouldn't be hard. It should be effortlessly. When I say that, I say that loosely. What can you do to make this lifestyle change? Pray about it. Pray about it. That's your number one thing is pray about it. Ask for help. Ask your higher being for help. Say, I need help. I recognize I need to make this lifestyle change. I understand why. I have this plan. Help me. Pray about it. And you'll get your answer. Enlist your friends and family, only the positive ones. Once again, only the positive ones. And if you don't have anyone that's positive, then trust me, you're going to be your best friend. Encourage yourself. If it's losing weight, look in the mirror every day and say, ooh, look how slim I'm getting. Encourage yourself. And just be positive. Make sure your family and friends are positive. Explore different ways on how you can make a lifestyle change. Is it joining a fitness club, going to groups, going to church, events, classes? Don't stick yourself in a box when you're making a lifestyle change. Don't just say this is what I'm going to do. Explore different ways, different avenues. Okay? And find out, the things that are needed to make this lifestyle change. Explore different ways. You'll be amazed at the support groups that are really out there and things that you can do to really make a lifestyle change. Explore them. Don't wait until the time is right. The time will never be right. It will never be right. Time doesn't care what you have to do. It just keeps on tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. That's its time. That's what it does all day long. It doesn't care what you do. You have to make the time right. So if you recognize it, you should do it. Don't say, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Do it today. Make that change today. Understand that any change will take time. It's going to take time to get used to. Trust me, it will take time to get used to, but you can do it. Understand that it's not going to be an overnight success to make a lifestyle change. You have to say it's going to take time. And plan to follow the lifestyle change. Make this lifestyle change yours. Make sure that you can follow this for the rest of your life. Whatever you do, make sure that this is something that you can do. And if you're challenged along the way, don't worry. Get up and just keep going. Don't stop, whatever you do. Well, we're coming to the end of Endless Encouragement with host Myra Hahn. Just follow us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Endless Encouragement. You can follow this podcast at Blog Talk Radio /Endless Encouragement. All of our shows will be on YouTube. So tell your friends, just search Endless Encouragement. And you can go to our website, learningthelord.com, and sign up for our free newsletter. Or you can also like us on our other Facebook page, facebook.com/learningthelord. I hope that everyone has a great week. I hope that you have learned something about lifestyle changes. I hope that, you will go ahead and understand and recognize the need to make a lifestyle change and go ahead and put a plan in place and do all the things that I suggested. So hope everyone have a great and blessed week. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.